Supergirl issue 34. Mark Andreyko writing and Eduardo Pansica on the art. And Supergirl is back in National City.
Yeah.
And we see it as a poster for Kara Danvers. She's missing. So
Yeah, Ben's putting that up.
yeah, we're going to have to deal with that soon, aren't we?
Yeah, and I like how she goes and catches Dr. Veritas smoking, right? And gives her a Superman-esque lecture.
Yeah,
Like,
and
hey,
we
don't
deal
be
with the
doing
idea
that.
that she's in hiding because all the agencies. This is kind of a Leviathan tie-in issue, and that all of the agencies are missing, including her foster parents. The Danvers are missing, and this issue is largely about her trying to find them and find out what happened to them. Whilst also Lexi's gift to one of the Brainiacs is access to the Fortress of Solitude, so that he can
Right.
gain knowledge and whatnot.
And this is the original fortress, not the Bermuda one, right?
Yeah, this is the original.
It's the Arctic. Okay.
Arctic one, yeah. So no, I love that Ben's back. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah.
Kind of like bringing the supporting cast back in makes it feel more in line with what the book was before she went off to space, and presumably setting up maybe in these last few issues before Hauser comes on board in December. Yeah, December's her issue.
Yeah.
Setting that stuff up. So it feels like, like the book will probably still be tying into Superman a lot, but now it'll be Jodie Hauser doing it. But they're looking for Eliza, and they track her robotic hand to a morgue, which obviously is not good news. It's this nice jump cut because she says, you're not going to like this. Veritas is like, you're not going to like where we've tracked this to, and we go to a morgue, and Supergirl goes in and finds the hand in a bag on top of the body, which doesn't necessarily suggest that the body is hers. It could be that someone's left this, Leviathan's left this for Supergirl to find. Was kind of how I was maybe reading it, is that it's not actually belonging to this body. It's just here's a.
But it definitely is Eliza's.
Oh yeah, no, we get like a flashback. So Leviathan maybe has her kidnapped or whatever, but someone, or maybe Eliza herself has left it here as a breadcrumb.
Right. Because we know that Leviathan's technology would be able to replace something like that, right? Like. But then again, you see Kara dealing with Leviathan, and she hasn't yet, and like them wearing lead masks, and them also not being too sure of themselves, right? And now she's fighting this Leviathan. She's pretty upset because of Eliza, and someone shows up and kills one of the members of Leviathan. Which I thought that was pretty shocking.
Yeah, that's where we get to. That's where it goes next. Yeah, Leviathan shows. These like 3 Leviathan does show up, and Supergirl has a hard time. They're wearing lead. They actually trap Crypto with like an electric net at one point, and she has to get him out. But they have kryptonite, and it becomes this thing where maybe she's in over her head here, and then in walks someone masked to like help her. And she at first she's like, "You just killed 3 people. I don't care who they were. Like this is not right." And then it takes off the mask, and it's Jeremiah Danvers. That's the big cliffhanger at the end of the book.
It's her Earth dad.
And he's presumably, I really like the art on Crypto here, where he's paw up in the leg, but the physics of this bothers me a little bit. What exactly is he resting his paw on? Because his leg's not bent, so it's like he's
as someone with a dog that gets pushy when she wants pets.
Yeah,
I just felt like Crypto is like tapping him because he's excited to see him. It's not so much a resting. It's like we caught him in motion.
Sure. Okay. Okay. They are typically what I like though. I think Pansica's pretty solid on Supergirl. Looks great in the outfit.
What's funny? Pansica and Roca, weren't they both main artists on Green Lanterns?
Yeah, I think
so. So it's good to know that they've got to other books, even though that book's no longer around, sadly. That they're still around doing stuff.
Absolutely, because they are. I think it's really solid. The page where she's crying, looking at the hand as the flashback kind of plays out around her, is a little bit 90s, but it's 90s in a good way. So because there's 90s art that I really like, and there's 90s art that I really dislike, and this is kind of like good 90s art. If that makes any sense whatsoever.
No, it does. There's a blockiness to it. There's a, you know what I mean? Like it's very action oriented. It's kind of like Howard Porter, but I would also say Howard Porter's very 90s-esque too, in the best way.
Yeah. I like this issue quite a bit. It felt like it was getting back to her supporting cast, which is obviously she's had Zinder in space, but this was like, no, let's get back to her Earth supporting cast and reintroduce them, and presumably because they want to do some stuff with them, they're going to use them in future stories, and maybe Hauser's going to do stuff with them. So If I was to make a guess, I'd say that either she'll have like a cover story for Kara coming back either by the end of this, or maybe that'll be the start of Hauser's run. I don't know if that's something they're going to fix before Hauser starts, or if it's something that that'll be our first story. Is like, okay, how do we reintroduce and reestablish Kara Danvers and her existing in the world?
That should be fun.
Yeah, no, I'm digging it.
Well, let me just say that I want to look up Dr. Veritas. I know she's been around for a while, but exactly where? And I just got very upset.
Oh.
You want to know who created her, Pete?
Oh. Is it one Mr. Scott Lobdell?
Yep, during the Hell on Earth story, which I completely put out of my brain. I was like, I remember Dr. Veritas showing up, over time since Rebirth and whatnot, but where exactly did she come from?
On the upside, though, I mean, this is just proof that you can take someone and turn them into a solid supporting character.
And again, I feel like sometimes Superman and Supergirl, we'll say the Superman family supporting cast, doesn't get a lot of spotlight, but I like here that Dr. Veritas has, and hopefully the fire chief, who I'm blanking on her name, hopefully she starts showing back up in Bendis' run, because she was a pretty key early on, a pretty big member.
I think she will.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about this is that it tied a little bit into Leviathan, but it mainly reestablished how important her Earth parents are to her and the concern over that, but also reestablished Veritas. So it's and even Ben gets a little cameo of like reestablishing him. So it's very clearly saying, hey, here's the main players in our supporting cast that are going to be important again, focusing mainly on the parents and the idea of like her getting back to them and what's going on there. So. I think this will be a solid 3-issue arc or whatever it is that gets us up to Hauser's first issue, and then from there we'll see what it does. So, good. What are you giving it, Matt?
I'm gonna give this one an 8. It's pretty good. I like that it took us back to National City, and it's Supergirl back in that element after the sidetrack around the universe, where it feels like very much not so much a change in tone, but like, hey, we're done with the Rogolzar stuff. Supergirl can go back to being Supergirl. And not all that.
No, I pretty much agree. I will give it an 8 as well. I think it's a pretty solid issue. I'm liking it setting up Supergirl's world again. And I like the Supergirl, after having, some misses during the Orlando run, has gotten, between that first arc with Hauser co-writing, and then since it came back within Draco, it's definitely been consistently solid for us, I think. And I'm looking forward to Hauser running wild on it.